So I actually did this video last year, my 10 best office fragrances. I don't really like that video. I don't think I picked the best fragrances in that video, and I'm hoping this one will be a lot better. In fact, I know it'll be a lot better because my collection has since grown a lot and I have a lot better choices in my opinion compared to my video last year. You can go check that video out if you want to. I encourage you not to, but I mean, hey, you're probably going to look at it anyway if you haven't seen it already after hearing me say that I think it sucked. So with that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and go over my top 10 office fragrances. Again, like I say in every video, every top 10, a couple of things. One, I'm not saying these are necessarily the best. They're the best in my collection, but everyone's collection is different. One thing I will tell you right now, Prada L'Homme is not in the list. So let's go and start off number 10. We have F Black. So I just talked about this one recently. In my opinion, it's one of the best bang for buck fragrances there is. Like $20 for 100 ml, you can't beat that. This isn't everyone's favorite. So with that being said, this will be a little bit more on the daring side. So I will say, just throwing that out there, it is going to be more daring. With that being said, I still think you can pull it off at work. Just limit your sprays. Maybe 1 to 2 is all you need. Make it subtle because it is strong. But the dry down is smooth. It's powdery, it's a little bit peppery, and overall I think it would work great in a work environment. Again, this one isn't going to be everyone's favorite, but at $20 for 100 ml, you might as well give it a shot and try it out. If the notes look good and you think you're going to like it, then definitely I say go for it. I actually did review this one, sometime last year as well. You can go check out that review. Overall, I think it's a great scent, especially for the price, and it's just one of my favorite, cheaper, affordable fragrances out there. So at number 10, highly recommend you check it out. And again, I think it would be great for work. Just limit your sprays and it would work great. Number 9, we have YSL L'Homme. So why did I put this at number 9? Couple reasons, one of which being performance isn't really the best. Will this get you through a work day? Possibly, depending on 1, your skin chemistry, and 2, how long your work day is. Generally speaking, this doesn't perform the best on people, especially the newer bottles. I get okay performance from this, about 6 hours, 7 hours or so longevity. So that could get you through most of your workday, again, depending on skin chemistry, depending on, how long you're working and what type of environment you're working in. Talking about office fragrances here though. So in an office, again, it depends. I can't say for sure whether or not this is going to last you through the whole day. So that is one of the reasons why I put it at number 9, because it may not do that for you. Another reason is just because, like I said, this has been around for a while. It's been worn by tons and tons of dudes, and for most people that won't be a problem. And in fact, when it comes to, again, in an office environment, that in my opinion is okay. You don't want to go with anything that is too daring, that is too weird and too niche smelling. So in this instance, I think it's okay that this has been worn by a lot of people and that it's been smelled a lot. Again, though, my main reason for putting it here is the performance. It just isn't the best, so I had to bump it down. But again, in terms of whether or not this DNA is old and played out, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing when it comes to office fragrances. So I'm just going to leave that there. Number 9, great stuff, L'Homme. Number 8, we have a Creed. Only limited myself to 1 Creed on this list, so I didn't want to get too crazy. So I had to choose wisely here, and it is Bois de Portugal. So I know what you're probably thinking, oh, well, why would I want to wear, a more expensive fragrance to work every day? And the answer is you don't have to. None of these have to be worn exclusively every single day to work. You could work this into your rotation every now and then and it would work great. So just because I'm putting this here doesn't mean you had to go out and buy this fragrance that is expensive and wear it every day. I'm not saying that you should be wearing any of these every single day to the office. In fact, I think you should buy maybe multiple ones of these and switch it up. So I don't want to hear that excuse where people say, oh, no one can afford to wear a Creed to work every day. I'm not saying anyone can. I'm not saying you have to wear it every day. I did want to include this though, because in my opinion, this would be a great work scent. I have talked about this a little bit, I think, in my top 10 Creed fragrances. I'm going to do a whole review on this at some point. Overall, fantastic stuff. It is a classic smelling fragrance, so it is not like a modern Dior Sauvage or Versace Dylan Blue type of fragrance smell. It is very classic, it is very masculine, mature, and in my opinion, this would be a great one for the office, maybe for someone who is a little bit higher up. Maybe if you're you know, higher up, you're a boss or something along those lines, maybe you're an older gentleman as well, I think this stuff will be a great one for the office. So I definitely wanted to include this one. Performs great. It'll easily get you through the day. I get really good performance out of this one considering it is a creed, and most creeds, generally speaking, don't do so well. But again, this is one I get good performance with. It'll get you throughout the day, you know, at the office. And again, this is on my skin. It may be different on other people's skin. This is a bottle from 2015, so I don't, you know, I'm just saying on my skin it works good, and it would get me through the workday. And that is that. So this is number 8, Bois de Portugal. And speaking of Versace Dylan Blue, number 7. So it has been a long time since I've talked about Versace Dylan Blue on my channel. And it's been a long time since I've even worn this, which is a shame because this stuff actually does smell pretty good. So you've all heard how this smells before. I'm not going to give you that typical spiel on, you know, what 2 fragrances or what 3 fragrances mixed together to create this, but I'm just going to tell you, I think this would be great for the office. It's got mass appeal. It performs really good. It's extremely versatile. It's not going to offend anyone. And really, you can't go wrong with that. And again, when it comes to choosing a fragrance for work or for working at an office or whatever the case may be, you want to make sure you pick something that's going to be well received for the most part. And this one for sure will be. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this one. Number 7, Versace Dylan Blue. So be a great one for the office. Number 6, we have Valentino Uomo Intense. So you know how I've told you I like Dior Homme Intense better, which is true. I still do. However, I'm putting this one in the list over Dior Homme Intense just because, like I've talked about before, this one is more wearable. This one's more wearable and it's more mass pleasing. Generally speaking, this one is going to be accepted by other people more so than Dior Homme Intense. And again, when it comes to choosing a work scent, that's what you want. But this is still great stuff. I still love the scent, even though I prefer the scent of Dior Homme Intense just for personal reasons and the fact that I just like it better. That's just kind of my taste. I still love this because they are pretty similar. So I do still love this stuff. And it's got a very upscale and a very classy, creamy, smooth scent. It would just be great for the office, more so for winter perhaps, but again, if you're working in an office, it's going to be climate controlled, so really you could wear this any time of the year. If you're wanting to kind of follow the seasonal guideline for fragrances, definitely more for fall and winter, which is good since we're coming up in that season anyway. Just great stuff. Number 6, this one would definitely get the job done because it'll get you through the whole workday, and people are going to enjoy the scent more often than not. Of course, when it comes to really any fragrance, there may be some people who don't like it that much. So again, when it comes to all of these, err on the side of less sprays rather than more. Again, even fragrances that are super mass pleasing, there's going to be someone that doesn't like it, and there's not much you can do about it. So again, like I said, with all these, I would say less is more when it comes to sprays if you're worried about offending anyone at your job. So number 6, Valentino Uomo Intense. Number 5, we have Acqua di Gio Profumo. Again, this is another very solid scent. It's going to be hard to find people that don't like this. Performs really well. It'll get you through the whole workday and then some. This is one of my better performing fresher fragrances, which is great. So I always enjoy that. And overall, I just think it would be a great pick, a great one for work, extremely versatile. So you could wear this all year round. But again, talking about being at work where you're going to be inside, doesn't really matter too much. But again, number 5, Acqua di Gio Profumo. Great stuff, and it would be a great one for work. Number 4, we've got the 1 EDP. This stuff has been showing up in a lot of my videos lately, so if you guys are getting tired of seeing this one, I apologize. I'm just a huge fan of the scent, and again, talking about, you know, bang for your buck, like I talked about with F Black, this stuff, you just can't go wrong with it. $50 for 100 ml. Sometimes you can get a little bit cheaper than that. This one would be great for the office. I've never gotten a bad reaction from it, and it's just overall fantastic stuff. Again, I will say though, performance, it's going to be spotty on some people. Do realize that this is my personal list, and this performs good on me, so therefore I'm putting it up higher. If this doesn't perform good on you, then I'm sorry, maybe put it lower on your own personal list. But again, when it comes to making stuff like this, I have to make the list catered towards, you know, my experience with these fragrances. Number 3, we have a Mancera. This one is called Wave Musk. So I haven't really talked about this one yet, but this is really, really nice stuff. Now, if you look at the notes, it is kind of an aquatic, marine, salty scent, but what I mostly get from this is a very clean, like freshly cleaned linen type of smell, if that makes any sort of sense, with a little bit of a saltiness as well. But to me, it's mostly musky, and it mostly smells like clean white linens, which sounds weird. But basically what I'm trying to say here is this is a very clean smelling scent. So when it comes to being at work, you can't go wrong with that at all. So I'm putting this at number 3. Again, you can't go wrong with it. It is strong, so maybe 1 to 2 sprays max, at least on my skin anyways, because it'll fill a room if you go too much, so you don't want to do that. A fantastic scent, again, very clean smelling. It's going to be hard to find someone who dislikes this, at least, you know, in my opinion. Talking about pricing, yes, this is a niche, but I mean, you can pick up a 120 ml of this for around $60 or so on FragranceNet, maybe $70, which is pretty much a designer price range at that point, and you're getting, you know, 120 ml instead of 100. So overall, great value, and it'd be a good one for work. So this is number 3, Wave Musk. Number 2, we've got Dior Homme Eau. So this is taking the place of Prada L'Homme. So if you have Prada L'Homme and you don't have Dior Homme Eau, you could put that, you know, in this spot as well. I just prefer this one. It just works better on my skin. I just overall like the scent better. But in terms of those two, both are great. So really, I'm going to say they're interchangeable here in this spot. I'm not saying that they smell identical. They are pretty close. I just prefer this one, so I'm putting it. It's a very soapy, clean fragrance with a little bit of a spicy touch. It does have iris, but it's a very fresh iris. It doesn't come across too makeup bag smelling like in Dior Homme Intense. So again, very wearable, very, very versatile, performs really good on my skin, like over 8 hours, longevity, pushes out decently as well. So overall, across the board, a fantastic scent. My number 1, we have an MFK. I just had to put this here because this stuff is absolutely fantastic in my opinion. It is MFK Masculine Pluriel. I struggle with saying that word, so just kind of disregard that. In my opinion, it's like a barbershop-y smelling scent. It's got lavender, it's got vetiver, it's smooth, it's woody, it smells great, and again, this would be perfect for an office. This is another one where I would say maybe someone who's a little bit higher up, maybe someone who's more mature, this would be perfect for. It's just a great one of my personal favorites from MFK, and I think it would be a great scent for work. Again, coming in a little bit more expensive. I think like you can get this for like $140 for 70 ml, so it's not awful. And again, like I said, you don't have to wear this every single day and burn through your bottle in, you know, a month or whatever. You can rotate this in and work this in your rotation. Maybe you have a business meeting and you want to go for something that, you know, will make you feel even more confident, and something that you really, really like this one, you could go for it. So again, not saying that these more expensive ones have to be worn all the time, but it is definitely a good option, and it's my personal number 1 because I'm a big fan of it. So guys, that was it. That was my top 10 office fragrances for this year. So let me know down below what you think would be good scents for work or for the office, or, you know, however you want to say it. And that's gonna do it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss when I post. Also, if you have any videos that you want to see me do that I haven't done yet, leave them in the comments as well, just so I can kind of get a backlog of video ideas set up and kind of start working on them and putting together lists and reviews and things like that. So definitely let me know down below what you want to see coming forward. And again, that's going to do it. So I will see everyone in the next video. Take care.